I actually had the pleasure and had the honor to accompany the first ever batch of computer science 7th semester students to go to GUC Berlin last semester. And needless to say, it was a great experience, full of fun, full of rich experiences for both me and the students. So actually I did attend a lot of conferences, a lot of hackathons, and both on the teaching level and interacting with the students level, we all gained a lot of experiences. So let me start by the first experience. Actually, the students there were taking some courses with the university in Berlin, and they had student passes to actually go to the campus in TU Berlin and use the labs and research equipments they have there. And they were also taking the same courses with master's level students, German students. And at the end of the day, their results were as competitive and as good as these master level students, which was quite impressive given the fact that they're only 7th semester GUC students, and maybe they lack some background knowledge, but they did it. I was impressed, they were impressed, and this is beyond expectations. And secondly, by dealing with international professors, I get a lot of experiences on their research methods, the new directions they're currently working at in computer science. So I personally was working on some projects without any technical details, system on chip, and we had access to equipment that we would never dream of actually using in Cairo or in Egypt. There was also another course given by a professor from TU Munich, and needless to say that TU Munich is one of the top 3 universities in Germany and one of the top 50 around the world if you rank the universities by the computer science major. Same goes for TU Berlin, however it's one of the top 100 universities. So these are not just any universities, these are top ranked universities, and they would look good on the CVs of the students as well as my own CV. On the conferences level, I personally, coming from the geeky side, coming from a computer science background, I used to watch the conferences being live streamed and stay up late all night just to keep up with the events and see these people actually deliver top-notch talks. However, when I went to Berlin, I was lucky to be a part of the action, to be a part of the movement, to interact with these people and attend physically the conferences there. So one of the biggest conferences I attended was the 5th Arab-German Educational and Vocational Training Forum. I think in the 3rd year or the 2nd year of the conference, Professor Ashraf Mansour, the president of the GUC, actually delivered a talk talking about the progress that the GUC made and the revolution in vocational training and education, applying the German system of education and tweaking it in such a way that it could cooperate or could integrate well with the Arab needs. And there were a lot of VIPs there. There were a lot of big-name people that you never get to see in everyday life. There was the Egyptian ambassador, the Qatarian ambassador, even the Federal Minister of Education and Research, Herr Volker Rieck. I got to meet him in person and take his business card, and that was more than an honor. On the age-wise, I mean, these people were all like university presidents. They were all beyond 50 years old, and I'm only 24, and yet I was debating how to make education and education better and so on. Another conference or another hackathon I attended was the TechCrunch Disrupt hackathon. And let me first start by defining what a hackathon is. It's just you code 24/7 all night and all day long, and you get to present your idea to top-tier sponsors such as Google, such as IBM, and the big-name companies. And if they like their idea or your idea, they will give you seed funding. So you can start up your own mini project and win financial prizes. And I participated with some of the brightest minds and the brightest software developers in Europe. They gathered in Berlin. And usually such conference used to happen in the United States, but in Berlin it was the first time to happen in Europe, and I was lucky enough to be a part of it. I gained a lot of coding skills, a lot of ideas. We were brainstorming a lot of great ideas which could potentially make the world a better place through software and through just sharing ideas. So another event that I was actually lucky to be a part of was the 30th Chaos Communication Congress in Berlin. And this is the second world's largest security conference in infrastructure and IT security around the world after DEF CON. And there were actually more than 10,000 of the world's most skilled and talented hackers, computer security researchers, and computer scientists. So for example, Julian Assad, the guy behind all the WikiLeaks and all these things, was actually joined through a video conference, and they were hiding his location and so on. And he's speaking about the in-depth details, how he technically managed to get all this data and publish it online. And at the same conference, I actually get to personally meet the people behind the Tor anonymous network. And these people contributed greatly to the part of the Egyptian revolution. When actually the internet was entirely cut down in Egypt, you would think that you cannot access the internet. But through that phase, there was a 2-day phase, which was even before they cut the sea cable. And basically, the people who have that knowledge could access the internet through their Tor network. And that was more than a privilege for me to talk about that. We actually went to a silicon fabrication facility, namely XFab, and we got to see how microprocessors and microcontrollers are being manufactured and turned from sand into the microcontrollers and the chips that you see in your everyday life, in the camera, in your computer, and so on. And finally, I would like to share some statistics with you, because 6 out of the 7 lucky computer science students who traveled there got bachelor opportunities with the professors, the same professors they were taking the courses with Technical University Munich and Technical University Berlin. And needless to say, they're more than lucky. I am currently a TA, and I'm jealous of them for having such opportunity. And even for me as a TA, I got to do a lot of interviews with TU Munich, and I traveled to Munich. I did a lot of PhD interviews, and wish me luck, I might be actually going for PhD next semester.